I walked into the venue, the sounds of laughter and chatter filling the air. My sister's wedding. It should have been a celebration. I should have felt happy, surrounded by family. But instead, something felt off the moment I entered. "Here. You can sit here," the usher said, pointing to a seat in the hallway right outside the main room. The laughter and voices from the reception seemed miles away. I froze, my stomach sinking. I stared at the empty chair. I could hear my heart pounding in my chest, but I couldn't make sense of it. I was supposed to be part of the celebration. I should have been in the thick of it, but instead, they'd placed me here, away from everyone. Is this a mistake?" I asked, forcing the words out, trying to sound casual. "No, that's your seat," the usher replied, glancing away. Clearly uncomfortable, I sat down. The noise from inside the hall filtered through the walls, a reminder that the party was happening without me. Was it a mistake? Or was this deliberate? The question gnawed at me. I tried to shake it off. Maybe it was just a seating error, maybe. They didn't know. But as I sat there, my mind began to spiral. The hallway felt too cold, too empty, just like I had felt in this family for years. I couldn't ignore the feeling that something deeper was going on, something I wasn't being told. I looked up at the grand chandelier hanging above me, the soft glow mocking me. How long had it been since I'd felt included in my own family? My parents, my sister, everything had always felt strained, like they were all on the inside, and I was always on the outside. Even now, at this supposed moment of joy, I was still pushed to the periphery. This wasn't just about a seat at a table. It was about everything. The lies, the secrets, the way they had always made me feel like I didn't belong. The anger began to bubble up inside me. Why had I always been the one to accommodate them, to play the part they wanted? Why did I always allow it? I wanted to get up, walk out, but I didn't. I stayed. Part of me, some foolish, stubborn part, still hoped things would be different. But I was alone in the hallway, as I had been alone in this family for so long. The wedding continued, and I felt a quiet anger settle in my chest. The wedding's still in full swing, but I can't shake the feeling that everyone is avoiding me. The laughter that echoes from the main hall feels distant, even though it's only a few feet away. I catch glimpses of my sister, glowing in her white dress, talking to guests. But there's something off. A coldness. A barrier I can't quite explain. I try to focus on the couple exchanging vows, but my mind keeps drifting back to the seat, and how everyone acted like it was perfectly normal to leave me in the hallway. But it's more than that. It's everything. The way my sister barely looked in my direction when she walked past me. The way my parents' eyes avoided mine when they spoke. Something's wrong. I shift uncomfortably in the chair, trying to ignore the voices coming from inside. But then, I hear snippets of conversation, snippets that cut through my thoughts like a blade. I don't know how much longer we can keep it from her. It's not the right time. I can't keep lying to her. She deserves to know. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. They were talking about me. I freeze, straining to hear more, but the voices fade, replaced by the clinking of silverware. I barely breathe, trying to process what I've just overheard. Deserves to know, I repeat under my breath. What am I supposed to deserve? The same treatment as everyone else? Or the truth? My heart races as I realize they've been keeping something from me. Something important. The way they've manipulated everything, using my relationship with my sister like a pawn in their game. It makes sense now. The cold distance, the exclusion, the secrets that had always lingered just out of reach. I stand up, feeling the tightness in my chest, but I don't know where to go. My sister's words echo in my head from years ago. I've always had to make decisions for you. I'm just trying to protect you. Protect me from what? From knowing the truth? From standing up for myself? I walk towards the entrance to the hall, but it's not enough to escape. Nothing is. I can't believe this, I mutter to myself, the anger bubbling up. How long have I been living in the shadows of their lies? How long have I let them decide what I deserve? It's time to stop. I want answers. I want the truth, even if it hurts. I stand up, my heart pounding in my chest. I've had enough. I've been sitting here, listening to the laughter, the conversations that don't include me, feeling invisible, and something inside me snaps. This isn't my family anymore. This isn't my life. I glance over at the table where they sit. My sister, my parents. They're smiling, talking, unaware of the storm building inside me. I feel their eyes, even from across the room. I can sense them watching me, probably wondering why I haven't joined them, but I'm not going to play their game anymore. I take a deep breath and push the chair back with force, the scrape of metal on the floor sharp in the otherwise quiet space. Where are you going? My sister's voice calls out, almost startled. I don't turn to face her. I don't want to see that empty look in her eyes, the one that always tries to pretend everything's fine when it's not. I'm done, I say, my voice steady, but heavy. You can't just leave, she says, her tone now defensive. But there's something in her voice. Fear. I don't answer. The last thing I need right now is an argument. My feet are moving before I can stop them, and as I walk away, I hear the soft murmur of voices behind me. But I don't look back. The door shuts behind me with a final thud, and for the first time, in a long time, I feel a strange sense of relief. It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, though I can't quite explain why. Maybe it's the silence of the hallway. Maybe it's knowing I've finally done something for myself, something that isn't dictated by their expectations. I step outside into the cold night, the chill immediately hitting my skin. The dark sky above seems to mirror the heaviness in my chest. The world is quiet here, nothing like the chaos inside. I'm alone, but in a way, it's better this way. I look up at the stars, but they feel distant, just like the family I left behind. I wonder if I'll ever truly understand why they did this to me, why they used me as a pawn in their little game of control. The questions swirl in my mind, but at that moment, none of it matters. I've made my choice. It's time to take control. I don't know when it started, this dark seed of revenge growing inside me. At first, it felt like nothing more than a fleeting thought, a fleeting anger I could shake off. But now, it's something deeper, something more dangerous. I can feel it pulsing through me every moment that passes. The betrayal, the lies, it's been too long, too much. I look at them, my family, laughing, living their perfect lives like nothing has changed. But I know what they've done. They think they've won. They think I'm just some shadow, some forgotten piece of their puzzle. But I see it now. I see everything. And I'm not going to let them get away with it. I stand at the window, my eyes fixed on them as they celebrate inside. I should be there too, celebrating with them, smiling. But instead, I feel like an outsider, like an actor in a play that's gone on too long. I've been living in the background for so long, always the one to forgive, to move past things. But not anymore. The bitterness starts to seep in. It feels like the first real emotion I've had in years. Anger, yes, but more than that. I'm not just angry. I'm unsettled. They've hurt me. I've given them everything, love, loyalty, trust, and this is how they repay me. I don't need to ruin their lives. I just want them to feel it. I want them to understand the weight of what they've done to me. I start planning. It's subtle at first, like a game I don't want to win. I just want them to know, to feel the discomfort of knowing they've been caught. I'm not going to destroy them. I don't need to. But they'll never look at me the same way again. I think of all the times they've manipulated me, made me the scapegoat, the one who always got pushed aside. Now, I get to decide how this goes. The power is mine. It's a small comfort, but it's enough. I look back inside, watching my sister laugh at something my mother says. They don't know I'm watching. They don't know what's coming. My heart isn't filled with hatred, not exactly. It's filled with the need for closure. I need them to understand what they've done. I need them to feel the weight of their actions, just for a moment. I'm not some victim anymore. I've been the victim for so long, but I won't be anymore. The idea of revenge doesn't burn with fiery rage. It's colder than that, quieter. It's about understanding, about them realizing that they can't hurt me anymore. Not without consequences, and so I wait, watching, waiting. I don't need to lift a finger. Karma, it seems, has its own way of working. At first, I didn't believe it would happen. Things always seem to work out for them, don't they? But now, as I watch the cracks form in their perfect world, I can't help but feel a strange satisfaction. It starts small. My sister's perfect marriage, the one she always flaunted, begins to falter. She's distant, not the glowing bride anymore. Her husband is snappy, barely touching her in the way they used to. I hear the whispers, at first just rumors, but they grow louder. He's been distant, unfaithful, and it's eating her alive. I listen to her talk to me, her voice trembling, and I know she's trying to hold on to the image, trying to keep the perfect family portrait intact. It's nothing, she says, brushing her hair back, avoiding my gaze. We're fine. Just a little rocky patch. It'll pass. But I see it. The way he barely looks at her anymore. The way she tries to pretend everything is okay, but the cracks in the facade are too obvious, and it doesn't stop there. The whispers about my mother's business dealings, how they've been under investigation for months now. I can't help but notice how she pretends everything's normal. I hear the conversations from the other room, my father trying to keep her calm. Don't worry. We'll fix this. It's just a misunderstanding. They don't know, though. I see it, all unraveling. Their lives, the lies they built their empire on, are coming apart. Slowly but surely, their perfect world is crumbling. They look over their shoulders, but it's too late. Karma's hand has already gripped them. At first, I feel satisfaction. Justice, I think. But the more I watch, the heavier the feeling in my chest becomes. This isn't what I wanted. I've been so caught up in their downfall that I forgot what it would mean for me. I've become so obsessed with watching them squirm, watching them suffer, that I forget to think about how it affects me. I didn't want them to lose everything. I wanted them to understand. I wanted them to see me, to know what they had done. But now, I'm left with an emptiness I didn't expect. Have I become what I always hated? The person who thrives on others, suffering? The one who holds on to bitterness long after it's needed? The satisfaction feels hollow now. I'm not the one who wins. Not anymore. The silence between us hangs heavy, like a weight in the room. I stand there, my body tense, but my mind a blur of confusion. It's been weeks since I left, and now, here she is, my sister. Her tear-streaked face is enough to stop me in my tracks. She's not the same girl I grew up with. The anger in her eyes is raw, but so is the regret. She's a contradiction, and it stings more than anything I've felt in a long time. "Why did you leave?" she asks, her voice shaky but demanding. An answer. "Why did you make it all worse?" Her words hit me like a slap. I blink, trying to steady myself. I want to scream, to tell her everything she did wrong, to unload all the pain I've been carrying. But I can't. Her pain is just as real as mine. I feel something shift in my chest as I look at her, something I haven't felt in a long time. compassion. I realize in that moment that I've been holding on to a version of her that no longer exists. The girl I once knew, the one I used to confide in, is gone. She's been replaced by someone I don't recognize. I don't know how to fix it, okay? Her words are quieter now, the edge of anger replaced by desperation. You left. And you think it's all just going to be better? It's not. It's never been just your pain. I've been hurt too. I open my mouth, but the words don't come. My anger rises, but so does something else. Something that feels too vulnerable to face. She's right. This wasn't just my betrayal. It was ours. She's been caught in the same web I've been tangled in. And now, I can see it in her eyes. I didn't know how to stay, I finally say, the words coming out softer than I expected. I couldn't keep pretending everything was fine, like, you did. Her face crumbles, and for a second, I almost regret saying anything at all. But the truth's out there now, hanging in the space between us, and for the first time I see it. How much of her hurt has been hidden behind the anger and pride she's carried. I don't know how to fix it either, she whispers, and her voice cracks. But I want to try. I don't know what to say to that. Part of me wants to walk away, but I can't. I can't keep running from this, from her, from the pieces of my family that I thought were long gone. Maybe we can try, I say, though my heart is heavy. But I don't know if we can ever be the same. And maybe that's the hardest truth of all. I stare at my sister, the weight of everything hanging between us. The silence feels suffocating, as if the years of hurt have created a barrier we can't cross. But I know it's time. I can't keep carrying this anger. I can't keep pretending that I'm fine. Why did you never tell me? I ask, my voice raw, my throat tight. Why did you let me keep thinking it was just me? She flinches, but then her eyes meet mine, and for a second, I see her, really see her. Not the girl who always played the part of the perfect sister, but the woman who's been just as broken as I've been. I didn't know how to, she says softly, her voice barely above a whisper. I thought you'd be better off if I didn't. But I see now. I see what it did to you. She takes a shaky breath. I was scared of losing you, scared of everything falling apart. I feel something shift in me. The anger that has been bubbling inside me for so long starts to subside, but it doesn't disappear completely. Instead, it's replaced by something deeper, something heavier. Regret. Realization. I didn't know how to handle any of it either, I say, my voice breaking. I've spent so much time hating you for what you did, for what we've all done. But we've all been too afraid to face it. Her face crumples, and I can see the tears she's been holding back. She's been just as terrified as I have. The walls we've built between each other, the years of silence, they weren't just to protect ourselves. They were to protect each other. But they've only kept us farther apart. I was so angry, I continue, my words flowing now. But I didn't know how to let it go. I didn't know how to forgive you. To forgive myself. I pause, taking in the moment. We've all been carrying this, pretending it's not there. But it is. It always has been. She steps closer, and for the first time, I feel like we're no longer on opposite sides. I'm sorry, she says, for everything. For the lies, for the distance, for not seeing you. I'm so sorry. The words hit me harder than I expected. It's not just the apology, it's the understanding behind it. The realization that we've both been so caught up in our own pain, in our own fears, that we couldn't see the other person's. I don't know how to fix it, I say, my voice thick. I don't know if I ever can. But I can't keep holding on to this. To all of it. It's too much. She reaches out, and for a second, I hesitate. Then I let her take my hand. It's not a perfect moment. Nothing about this is perfect. But it's real. And maybe that's enough. I can't change the past, I say quietly. But I can choose what happens next. She nods, squeezing my hand gently. So can I. We stand there side by side, the weight of the years between us still heavy, but finally starting to feel a little lighter. And for the first time in a long time, I don't feel like I'm carrying it alone. The days after the wedding are a blur. I'm still trying to process everything that happened, but I can't seem to focus on anything for long. I walked away from them, from the hurt, but I also walked back into myself. The version of me that I'd buried for so long is slowly coming, back to life, and it's both terrifying and exhilarating. I sit in my apartment, the quiet too loud after the chaos of the wedding, and I feel like I'm floating between two worlds. My family is still fractured, but I'm not the same person I was before. I'm different now. Stronger, maybe. But it's hard to tell when I'm still trying to figure out who I am without them. I pick up my phone and scroll through the messages. A few from my sister, one from my mother. They're asking if I'm okay, if we can talk, but I can't bring myself to respond. The words I've wanted to say to them, about the betrayal, about how they've hurt me, are still stuck in my throat. The truth feels too raw, too fresh to share. "Hey," a voice says from the door. I turn to see a friend I haven't heard from in a while. "I figured you might want some company." I smile weakly, grateful for the distraction. "Yeah, sure, come in." We sit on the couch, the silence between us comfortable but heavy. I try to talk, but the words don't come. What do I say? What can I say? The memories of the wedding are still there, replaying in my mind like a bad movie. The anger, the confusion, the hurt. It all swirls together, but underneath it, there's something else. Something I didn't expect. I feel a sense of liberation, like I've finally been set free from the expectations that have bound me for so long. I may have walked away from my family, from the people I thought I could trust, but in doing so, I've also walked into my own life, my own happiness. It's not perfect, not by a long shot, but it's mine. "Are you okay?" my friend asks softly. I look at them, at the concern in their eyes, and I realize, maybe for the first time in my life, I can finally say yes. Not because everything is fine, but because I'm learning how to heal. Slowly, the emotional wounds are beginning to scab over. It's a process, but it's progress. The memory of the wedding, of the betrayal, stays with me. But so does the realization that I no longer need to be a part of their story. I've written my own now, and it's not what I thought it would be. But maybe that's okay. Maybe that's enough. Months have passed since I walked away. I look back now, trying to remember the person I used to be, the one who let them control every decision, every part of me. I don't recognize her anymore. How did I let them define me for so long? How did I get so lost in their expectations that I forgot who I was? I sit in my new apartment, the walls bare except for a few pictures of places I've always wanted to go. There's no trace of them here, no reminders of the life I left behind. And for the first time, I feel like I'm breathing in a way I never did before. Free. It wasn't revenge that made me strong. It wasn't even the closure I thought I needed. It was letting go. Accepting that what happened, happened, and I couldn't change it. I had to stop carrying the weight of their actions on my shoulders. I couldn't keep holding on to my anger. It was only weighing me down. "I'm proud of you," my friend says one afternoon, sitting across from me, watching me sip my coffee. "You're not the same person anymore." I nod, not sure how to respond. I've heard those words a lot lately, but it's hard for me to believe them. Sometimes I still catch myself waiting for the punchline, the moment where everything will fall apart again. But it hasn't, and I'm starting to realize it never will. I feel different, I admit. Like I'm finally starting to see myself for who I am, not who I thought I was supposed to be. My friend smiles softly. You've found your strength, haven't you? It's true. I've changed. The scars from the past are still there, still raw at times, but they don't define me anymore. I'm stronger than I ever thought I could be. I don't need them to tell me who I am. I can stand on my own 2 feet now, and it's a feeling I'll never take for granted. The past still lingers. Sometimes it hits me like a wave, and I feel the sting of it all over again. But I've learned to let it wash over me and then let it go. I'm not the victim anymore. I'm not the person I was before. I've built something new from the wreckage, and it's mine. I'm free, I whisper to myself, finally believing it, finally, truly knowing it. The time has come. I stand in front of the door, my hand hovering just above the handle, ready to leave it all behind. I've come full circle. The weight of everything, the wedding, the betrayal, the hurt, the heartbreak, it's all led me to this moment. It's time to say goodbye. I don't know if I'll ever truly understand everything that happened, but I know this. I've healed. I've grown. And no matter how much I wish things could have been different, I've found my peace. I walk into the living room, where my sister stands, her eyes searching mine. She looks tired, like the weight of everything has settled deep into her bones. You're leaving, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I nod. I can't stay. There's no anger in me now, not like before. Just quiet acceptance. I can't keep being part of a story that's not mine anymore. I pause, letting the words sink in. I have to go. For me. She takes a step forward, her face full of regret. I didn't mean for things to end like this. I never wanted to hurt you. I look at her, and for the first time in a long while, I see her for who she really is. Someone who's been just as lost as I've been. But I've learned that sometimes it's not about what they've done. It's about what I need to do for myself. I know, I say, my voice steady. But I can't keep waiting for things to change. I can't keep holding on to what we were. There's a long silence between us, a heaviness in the air that neither of us can escape. But I know it's time. It's time to move forward. Are you sure? She asks, her voice shaky now, like she's afraid of what might happen if I say yes. I take a deep breath, my heart heavy but resolute. I'm sure. I don't wait for her to say anything else. I don't need to hear more apologies, more promises that things will be fixed. I've spent too much time living in the past, and I'm done with it. I turn to leave, but her voice stops me. Maybe one day we'll heal, she says quietly. I pause for a moment, looking back at her. A soft smile tugs at my lips. Maybe. But for now, I know this. I've found my healing, and that's enough. I close the door behind me, the sound of it echoing in the silence. As I walk away, I don't look back. I'm ready for what comes next. I'm ready to write my own story, if you found this story about self-healing and transformation powerful. Make sure to like and subscribe for more emotional journeys. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you deal with letting go of the past?